The Haunting in the Mall Restroom. Lila loved shopping malls, the bright lights, the chatter of excited shoppers, and the promise of endless distractions. One Friday evening, she decided to visit Magnolia Mall to escape the monotony of her week. The mall was crowded as usual, but something felt off that day. She couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her. After browsing for a while, she felt the need to use the restroom. The public bathrooms were tucked away at the far end of a quiet hallway on the third floor. The area was strangely deserted, with only the faint hum of the mall's air conditioning filling the silence. Um, as Lila pushed open the restroom door, the fluorescent lights flickered, casting fleeting shadows on the tiled walls. She hesitated, but laughed it off. Faulty wiring, she muttered to herself, stepping inside. The restroom was unusually cold, the air damp and heavy. Lila noticed a mirror hanging crookedly on the far wall. Beneath it was a sink with water dripping steadily, each droplet echoing ominously in the empty space. She chose a stall, locked the door, and tried to calm her nerves. As she sat, she heard it, a faint whisper. At first, she thought it was her imagination, but then it came again, clearer this time. Leave. Her breath hitched. She held her breath, straining to listen. Footsteps echoed faintly across the tiled floor, tight, slow, and deliberate, moving closer to her stall. "Hello?" she called out, her voice trembling. No response. She peeked through the crack in the door, but saw nothing. Gathering her courage, she quickly unlocked the stall and stepped out. The restroom was empty, but the sense of being watched was overwhelming. The lights flickered again, plunging the room into brief darkness. When they came back on, Lila froze. In the mirror above the sinks, a shadowy figure was standing behind her. It was a woman with long, matted hair covering her pale face, her dark eyes glaring at Lila through the reflection. Lila spun around, but the space behind her was empty. Her pulse thundered in her ears as she backed toward the door. Suddenly, the stall doors slammed shut one by one with deafening bangs. The whispers returned, louder now, a chorus of voices saying the same word. "Leave." Lila darted to the door, but it wouldn't budge. She banged on it, screaming for help. The lights went out completely, leaving her in pitch darkness. A cold hand brushed her shoulder. She turned sharply, and there she was, the woman from the mirror, standing mere inches from her, her face twisted into an unnatural grin. Lila screamed as the figure lunged toward her. The next thing she knew, she was on the floor outside the restroom, gasping for breath. Shoppers stared at her, confused and concerned. "Are you okay?" a mall security guard asked, Ashbeth helping her to her feet. Lila glanced back at the restroom door. It was ajar, and inside, the lights flickered ominously. She never returned to Magnolia Mall after that night, but rumors of the haunted restroom continued to circulate. Some said a woman had died there years ago under mysterious circumstances. Others claimed the restroom was a portal for something darker. Lila didn't care to find out. She was just grateful to have made it out alive.